Hello, everybody.
2 shows in a row. Microphone on. 2 shows.
You know what?
We are streaking. And look at our new sign. Welcome to check-in.
All right. You got a real Price is Right sort of vibe going.
Yes.
Here we go. Check-in. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Check-in. Thanks so much for joining us. Great to see so many of you in the chat already as we get you set for this evening's game against the Calgary Flames. Winnipeg Jets on the road for just one.
Yeah.
They came home for one after that 2-game road trip.
They've had a lot of long road trips to start the year.
They will, but just this quick 1-game road trip to Calgary tonight.
Listen, there's a lot of buzz, obviously, following the effort that they had on Saturday night. Just an impressive beginning to that game against the Nashville Predators. Mitch Clinton will be joining us here in a few minutes. Ordinarily, we bring our guests on about 12:45-ish.
Yeah.
Mitch is busy.
Well, because of the time change, obviously, with Calgary.
Well, I told him 10:45 originally. Mountain time. Sorry, Mitch.
And I thought that, and then I reached out to him and I said, maybe do you want to come on a little bit earlier than what?
Did you go over my head?
I did.
I booked the guest.
Well, I know you do, but then I felt bad for him because I thought he might be in a rush trying to get down
he's so
availability.
Nice. He's so nice. You wouldn't tell me that he's busy.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he told me. That would be great if I could come on a little bit earlier.
Oh,
so he's going to give us
the complaint department is what we're going on here.
He is going to give us an update. Obviously, he's at morning skate, which is going on right now. So he'll be able to give us the update about what's going on in Calgary. But 4-1 Jets as they continue to pile up the wins early on in this season after just that opening loss. They've won 4 straight going against the 1-5 Flames, who are certainly struggling at the moment to be able to find the back of the net and to be able to find any sort of wins as they sit right now bottom of the league.
Which is completely shocking because remember the Wednesday opening night, I know opening night was Tuesday in the National Hockey League. They played Edmonton, fell behind 3-0, fought all the way back and won in a shootout. So you're thinking, okay, this is a great start to the season for the Calgary Flames. Not so. They had another tough one in Vegas the other night and had a great start, but could not keep it together and fell to the Golden Knights and are now 1-5, as Sarah said, and just struggling to score goals as we speak.
Yeah, struggling to keep them out of their net, struggling to put them into the opponents. So we'll set up a little bit more about the Flames in a couple of minutes when Mitch joins us as well. But you see so many people in the chat already. Hello to a bunch of you that are watching. I mean, everyone that's watching, but a bunch that are watching from out of town as well. What I do love is some people that made the comment, the Jays game obviously is going on.
Taking a back seat.
Yes, but could the Jays not have won it in 6? Did they have to lose both in Seattle so that there is a little bit of a conflict and overlap between the 2 times today? Obviously, a huge win for the Toronto Blue Jays last night with Game 7 going tonight again in Toronto as they look to face off in the World Series for the first time since 93?
Yeah, 93, yes.
93. They look to face off against.
Yes, because
Jamie Thomas's favorite team.
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
LA Dodgers.
These 2 teams are fighting tonight just to lose the Dodgers in the World Series. We'll just go on from that anyways. But it's like that game in Toronto yesterday was nuts. It's been a crazy series. And good for the Blue Jays for fighting on staving off elimination and forcing this Game 7. It's going to be wild in Toronto. But that game, you can watch it for a little bit, but make sure you tune in on the radio or television at 8:30 our time.
That's right.
For the Flames and Jets.
You want to be able to get a little bit of both. I'm just looking to see whether or not Mitch is.
Oh yeah, he's popping in.
There
I see. Like, look at this. There's a smiling mug right there. And he's set himself up, and it looks like a suite somewhere in the Saddledome.
All right.
Mitch is very rich, so he can afford season tickets for Jets games and Flames games. That's the type of guy he is. He donates tickets. Did you know that? Please bring. He's been so kind to join us while he's working. That's the best part. You can tell us no.
Yeah.
But there he is. Eventually he's going to pop into the screen here. There he is.
Hey. So great to see you. Thanks for doing this. We already talked about how I went over Jamie's head and reached out to you and said, do you want to come on a little bit earlier to make this a little bit more convenient for you? And,
because you think of people and
you can just stop right there because I think of people.
Yeah.
So that's
and their needs.
Has you are watching Morning Skate right now, Mitch. Has it started? And do we have any?
Almost.
Almost. Okay.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a later start just because the Zamboni was still flooding and all that kind of stuff. So they're just kind of collecting pucks right now at center. But I don't envision much change. I mean, you've won 4 in a row, so we'll see if maybe somebody draws in. I'll try to do line rushes live, but I'm at the end of the rank here. So we got Morrissey, DeMello, Connor, Scheifele, and Velarde. So that stays together. The far end.
Breaking news.
Yeah, the far end, I see Shannon Fleury together, so that's no surprise. It's so hard to see the forwards. We might have a Brad Lambert sighting here.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
I think I did just see him take a line rush, so he could very well be slotting in. He did get recalled, obviously, not too long ago, so that would be interesting. And I mean, head coach Scott O'Neill has said, we don't want people to sit, so they're running it one more time. We got, I believe that's Iafallo. And I think that's, so it looks like Iafallo, Nemestikov, and Lambert, if my vision is correct.
Okay.
So there's your breaking news.
That one. There you go. Poor Mitch is trying to get lines going while.
If you would have came on at 12:45 Central Time, you would have had the line. That's exactly the whole process. But Sara knows better. So
sorry.
You know what? She left it. She left the time open to me, and I chose the time. So
look at somebody
having to defend Sara on this one. It was all me picking this one, and then thinking, oh, maybe line rushes will go like right at 11:30. No, that's not how this works.
Well, hey, look, before we quickly get into what you've seen from the Jets recently, and I mean, if Lambert could be in what you could be expecting to see from him, the Saddledome to me is one of those rinks that every visiting media that goes into talks about the catwalk, talks about, we've seen videos before of the precarious nature that it seems for people to be able to get to broadcast booths or to their seats. Are you afraid of heights? What are your feelings on the Saddledome catwalk?
It doesn't bother me, the walk, for whatever reason. I guess the railing is high enough for me that I feel safe. So we'll go with that. Now, this is a little bit different when it comes to heights, but I want to say it was back in 2012. I did that, rappel down the side of a building for, I believe it was Society for Manitoba with Disabilities at the time. That was when I first realized that, okay, maybe I do have a little bit of a heights thing, because it is a weird feeling to lean back to start rappelling yourself off a building. Like, everything in your body is like, we're not doing this. And everybody around is like, no, you're fine. Like, you're strapped in.
Survival,
everything's good.
Really. It's a survival instinct, really. That we're all born with. I don't blame you. Okay, so from the start of the season to what we're seeing now, and especially in the last 4 games, and in particular the last 2 games, has the defensive structure for the new players kicked in, and are they executing it just as well?
Yeah, I think it's getting better. Like, I think, and you guys would know this too, as the NHL's regular season goes on, like, the game kind of gets tougher and more straight line. There's not as much loose play going on. Like, and I think early in the season, that's kind of what we have been seeing, not necessarily from like the Jets standpoint, but just kind of around the league. Like, you're seeing teams put up 8 earlier this year, and you're seeing, some 6s out there, as Vegas put up on Calgary the other night. But for Winnipeg, like, you give up 5 like you do to the Dallas Stars to start the year, and all of a sudden, and granted small sample size, but Winnipeg's been able to kind of keep those goals against down, and now they're climbing back up in the league in terms of fewest goals against once again, right? So they've seemed to be able to get right back to their structure. I think there's still probably a few more shots getting toward the Winnipeg net than they would like. So that's a little bit of an adjustment for them. But I think in terms of the new players, you're starting to see it become a little bit more second nature. And for me, where I tend to see it most is when there's a turnover, or Winnipeg forces a turnover in their defensive end. The breakouts are looking a lot more efficient and a lot more clean. And that's partially, I think, what's led to Winnipeg being able to be on the puck a little bit more, be able to go on offense a little bit more, and take advantage of the opportunities that come.
Well, Mark Scheifele becomes the franchise's all-time leading scorer on Saturday. That's probably a big reason why Scott O'Neill's decided to keep him on the first line with Kyle Connor and Gabe Velarde. But you look at Mark's career, and it just seemed like a matter of time that he was going to become the franchise all-time leader in that department and probably all the departments in terms of offense. What have you liked about Mark's game to start the season, Mitch?
Really, he's just kind of picked up where he's left off, and then he's just on an unbelievable clip, right? But the defensive side of things isn't suffering at all. Like, he's made a number of great defensive plays that have allowed Winnipeg to go on offense. And you look at the National Hockey League level, center is such a difficult position to play, especially because a lot of systems that teams play require you, for the most part, to be that low forward in the defensive zone. And then, not only that, once that turnover happens, you got to be able to skate well enough to get up, join that rush, and be part of it, right? So it's one of the adjustments that Morgan Barron kind of had to go through when he was becoming a center. Now he looks phenomenal in that position. Looks like he's, been a center for the Winnipeg Jets his entire life with how comfortable he is. So for Mark, he's just been able to pick up where he left off in the defensive zone. But it's kind of the ways that he's been able to score, right? We've had a couple of one-timers. He's got a great shot. I think he considers himself more of a playmaker than anything. But, man, when he gets that shot off, it is absolutely lethal. He beats goaltenders clean. I think of the goal in Philadelphia where he came off the bench. And, obviously, the Olympics kind of being in the future, him going to the camp with Hockey Canada, being so close with Four Nations, I got to think there's that little extra added piece of motivation for him to make sure his name's on there. And he's, showing every reason why he should be.
I'm going to ask another one.
Yeah.
You're very busy.
I am. I'm trying to just
listen, because you're so great, I'm going to ask you another question. Listen, the whole idea, I didn't think this was going to happen because the question came up often and I know it's the same with you when you do radio interviews about how many games Connor Hellebuck's going to play. What do you think the idea that Eric Comrie is going to play every second or like every 2 or 3 games to keep him fresh this year with the Olympic year that we're having?
Yeah, and 60 seems to be that number, right? That they want to keep Connor Hellebuck under. They've been relatively close to it the last couple of years. And, I think for Eric Comrie, any opportunity that you get, you're going to be able to take advantage of. I know he said that he didn't really change much in terms of his off-season training because there's the possibility that he might play more games. No, and you guys know, like Eric Comrie, when it comes to practice days or morning skate days, he is your classic first guy on the ice, last guy off. He's on the ice half hour before the players even get out there working with Wade Flaherty, and then he's usually the one at the end taking breakaways and whatever the shooters want to work on. So he's going to be ready for no matter what workload comes his way. Of course, for Connor Hellebuck, you'd love to be able to keep him under 60, especially with that Olympic break for some. For him, you anticipate he'll be going. So it's going to be a bit of a workload for Connor Hellebuck. And I think we're starting to see, even with Eric Comrie getting the start that he did earlier this year and playing absolutely phenomenal in it on Long Island, he's a goaltender that the Winnipeg Jets have a lot of confidence in. So it's a balance because Connor Hellebuck is a guy that thrives on rhythm. Yeah, likes to get into those, 2, 3, 4 games in a row to really get himself going. But I just think the schedule with the Olympics just isn't going to allow it. I think on average, teams are playing somewhere close to 3.5, 3.6 games a week on average. It's just with travel involved too, it's just going to wear you down. Because look, we're partway through October, and the Winnipeg Jets have already had a road trip where they've gone east, home for one, and now off to a different time zone in the Mountain Time. So Jamie, when you offered the time, I didn't think twice. I was just like, I guess that is the time zone I'm in. I wasn't sure.
Mitch, today you're in the Pacific time zone.
Very quickly before we let you go, what are you watching for tonight in this game?
The start for Winnipeg will be important. I just think Calgary, coming off of the loss that they had in Vegas, they're just going to be a motivated club. They haven't won on home ice yet this season, and they're a team that's struggling to score some goals. So I think if you're Winnipeg, if you're able to come out and get yourself a nice early lead like they did against the Nashville Predators, you're going to kind of put that seed of doubt in because, I was in that Calgary room this morning. There's some motivation in there. They know they all have to be better collectively than they were in Vegas. So I would anticipate that the Winnipeg Jets are going to see Calgary's best.
Buddy, appreciate the time. Thanks for walking the catwalk for us, and we'll talk to you real soon once you guys get back here. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, no problem. See you guys later.
Thanks so much, Mitch. Okay, so the reason that I kept turning everything over to you was
because you're like, I had to have my mug match my jacket. That's what you're worried about. Can people see this?
But get that color coordination.
Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. Wow.
No,
that come as a set.
So I was actually reaching out to Paul Edmonds saying, hey, Mitch is on with us live right now and is trying to watch line rushes, thinks that he sees Brad Lambert take them, but he's obviously trying to talk to us while also watching it. Can you confirm what you're seeing for line rushes? So what we have is first line remains the same.
Yep.
No surprise there.
Yep.
That second line, Nino Niederreiter, Jonathan Taves, Gus Nyquist.
Okay.
Third line would be Alex Iafallo, as Mitch thought.
Yep.
With Vlad Namestnikov.
Yes.
And Brad Lambert.
See, Mitch knows.
And then the fourth line being Cole Koepke, Morgan Barron, and Tanner Pearson, which is a line that we've seen before. Deep pairing staying the same. So that is.
See, Mitch stayed on to make sure that he was right. I saw his little face in the corner there.
For it. Yeah. So that is what we were saying. Does Sara buy her jackets based on her mug colors or vice versa? Oh.
Dan, that's a darn good question.
It really is. It just depends,
We don't have that much time to get into this, Dan. So we only have a half hour. We have a lot of elements to add to the show.
We certainly do.
Yes.
So thanks so much.
Good question, though.
So thanks so much to Mitch for joining us. That is the latest, though, in terms of the line. So we will be seeing some changes, it appears, tonight based on the morning skate. I asked Mitch about the catwalk.
Yes.
How do you feel about the catwalk in Calgary?
Okay, so when I was doing color analysts on the radio in Lethbridge, first game in Calgary, the Saddledome. First off, you have to walk down. I didn't do the walk over the catwalk because there was another way. There's a long ramp though to the press box.
Yeah,
that's terrifying when you first get in there because I've never been that high up in a building before. And then when you get into the radio booth itself, I couldn't even look over the edge. I was like this.
Must have been great analysis.
My analysis was spot on the far side of the ring.
On the far side, only on the far. Everything that happened on the far side.
When Brad Curl asked me a question about what's happening, I'm like, I didn't see anything that happened there. But the catwalk itself is terrifying. You're like, is this wood sturdy enough to hold my weight?
Yeah.
The whole time you're going across. It's not fun. I don't know why. I've done it twice. It's a stupid thing to do if you don't enjoy it.
There are some great videos that are.
My pea-sized brain, like, you should do this.
There are some great videos that are out there for those that haven't had the opportunity to see it. It is renowned for.
Yes, and you get to look down the middle of the score clock, which is so dumb that you're like, I'm going to go in the middle of the ice and look down in the middle of the score clock.
You can't help it though.
No,
it's.
You have to do it.
You have to do it. But new arena will be built in Calgary. They're expecting, I think, to be ready for the start of maybe the 2027 season. So unfortunately, it looks like the end is somewhat near of the catwalk. But let's turn our attention back to this game with the Jets continuing to roll 4-1. We haven't had the opportunity to talk about that win, which was a 4-1 win against the Nashville Predators on Saturday.
First off, Mark Scheifele, congratulations.
Yes, he wasted little time getting it started.
Maybe we should roll that video to start.
Why not?
Let's go. If in case you missed it, here's the best call of the whole thing.
Side of the net, Iafallo can't get a puck or a stick on a puck on a pass from Scheifele. It's sent back toward the line. Back again, Scheifele shoots and scores! Point number 813 for Mark Scheifele. He is the new franchise leader in points. Congratulations. And he does it with another goal. And for Scheifele, it's goals in 4 straight. And it's 1-0 Winnipeg on the power play.
I just love Paul's calls.
I do. And when I first watched that video, because I was on my phone, I'm like, who the heck is with Paul? Where's Mitch?
Where's Mitch?
Then that was obviously a season seat holder, I think, sitting between them.
I'm not sure who it was, but obviously someone pretty great vantage point. Absolutely. And to be beside Paul to be able to hear it. Now, you had the NHL put out a factoid.
Right. So, listen, there's not many. There's only 32 franchise leaders in points and goals, or goal and points, sorry. Not many of them, but Mark Scheifele is part of a pretty exclusive club. Sorry, go ahead, Caden. I'm touching what I shouldn't be touching. So Scheifele is one of 7 active players who holds all-time goals and points records for one franchise. Alexander Ovechkin is the obvious one in Washington. Barkov in Florida, Stamkos in Tampa, Marchessault in Vegas. Now, Seattle hasn't been around very long, so Jared McCann's there, and Clayton Keller in Utah. Technically, I'll have 1 year. So it's 1 year and a little bit of stats.
Yeah.
but Mark Scheifele, 0.813. Then he also made, and we've heard him say this a lot, there's another player that he's chasing.
Yep.
That is Dale Hawerchuk. So chasing Ducky, a ways away from this one. 929 points is a jet for Dale Hawerchuk, a little closer to the goals.
But the rate he's going, though,
yeah,
116 points to go will not take that long.
No, it should be sometime next year. So we'll I mean, this is a great thing to show you now. There's a ways to go, but we will bring this back up again when Mark hits about 900 points, which shouldn't be too long, considering the tear that he's on right now.
Absolutely.
So we could be addressing this a little bit later this season too. So congratulations to Mark. Of course, it's Kyle Connor with the assist.
Yeah.
And of course, it's on the power play, which has been fantastic since that first game against the Dallas Stars when they went 0-for-4. They've scored in every game on the power play since then.
Yeah, so Scheifele with the 5-game point streak to start. That's 3 straight seasons for him.
Yeah.
Kyle Connor also on the 5-game point streak. Last season, if remember, he started with the 12-game point streak, which is an NHL record.
Yes.
So no surprise. We've talked about it already through the first 5 games about how that top line is leading the way. Gabe Vilardi not off to the same sort of start that the other two are, but you know that will come along sometime shortly.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a big part of their power play.
100%.
And it's the goals may not be there, but they're coming. He had a great chance the other night, and a great pass from Mark Scheifele as well. We were so excited for Mark, but there was something cool that happened on Saturday. This no question about it. Somebody is getting a lot of heat for a little while here. Some of it unfounded, some of it not fair, is Logan Stanley. So the fight that he had in the second period, we're hearing Stanley. I'm like, what is going on here?
I have never heard the chants for Stanley
Yes.
before. I don't know if there have been chants for him before. And you have mentioned, I mean, he can take a lot of heat within this fan base at times. I think that, unfairly, he has been the whipping boy of the fan base. So to be able to
there's always one guy in every team.
And to be able to see him have the start that he has had, he was obviously pushed up in the lineup with the injury to Dylan Sandberg. Mm-hmm. And you look at the contributions that he's made. So he scored a goal. He's got 2 on the season already.
Yes, which is a career high.
Which is fantastic because he'd gone almost a year without scoring. So at that, he dropped the gloves.
Thank you, DeMatt. That's great.
He's thrown out some big hits as well. So when you hear the Stanley chants,
not once, twice. Yeah.
We all looked at each other down the row. So all of our content department sits together, and we all look down going, this is fantastic because regardless of how you feel about the way that Logan has played in the past or currently, he is such a likable man. And I think Stanley has more goals. See, I mean, he's on a roll now.
That's awesome.
So it's so great to be able to see him get some adoration from the fans. Because,
yeah, and here's another, sort of cut you off.
No,
it's just like, the one thing is Mark Scheifele is the focus, as he should have been after the game, but Logan Stanley was a close second.
Yes.
So here's Mark Scheifele, Logan Stanley, and Scott Arniel on Logan Stanley.
Oh, he's been fantastic at the start of the year. He obviously, there was a big goal in a game where the momentum was kind of tipping towards Nashville. So he's been playing great. Obviously with him injury to Sandberg, you need guys to step up, and he's done that.
Obviously, we knew when we lost Sandberg, everybody would have to stand up, and I think that he's done that, and I think that when you get a little bit more ice time, you got to take advantage of it. And he's trying to make it hard on us as a staff that when Sammy comes back, and you have to present the opportunity, and it's theirs to go and take and make the most of it, and he's done that.
What was it like to hear your name chanted by 14,000 plus?
I think it's a first, so it felt good. I'll take it.
Could you believe how much time you had? It looked like you could survey the situation. Yeah, I think I've got time to pick short side here.
Yeah, that was a great play by Goose, and it's kind of weird when you have that much time, so just head down, hammer it.
What's it like to win 4 in a row here for your group and sort of find your structure?
Yeah, it's good. I think we're improving every day. Obviously, we didn't like our start against Dallas, so just continuing to build every day, and obviously we're not satisfied, and we have an end goal that we're trying to reach, so just trying to get better every day.
So good to see the start that he has had, and exactly what Scott Arniel said. With the opportunity that's being presented, he he's trying to put the best foot forward, being Logan Stanley, trying to put the best foot forward so that when Samberg comes back, that they have a very difficult decision to make. So good to see.
And the other part of it is like he's been very physical. And when you're a man of the stature and size that Logan Stanley is, that's a big part of your game that you have to have. And he's delivered everything that they've been asking of him. And I love the fact that people are recognizing, including his teammates and the coaching staff, and now the fan base, like I know they've recognized before, but what we saw Saturday and what we heard Saturday was amazing. So,
but he's elevated his level of play. He's
recognized the opportunity in front of him, and he's
taking advantage of it. So good on him, because that's all that you can do is take advantage of the opportunity that is put ahead of you. Something that the Jets continue to have issues with in the second period, in particular, penalties continue to be a storyline.
You're like, please stop.
Well, I mean, at some point you're playing with fire. Eventually,
and that's what shifted the momentum I felt in Nashville's favor. And yes, they started to play better in the second period. But you start taking those penalties, and my goodness, like the 5-on-3 didn't last. It was only like 30-something seconds. But man, you keep handing those out, then bad things are going to happen. But fortunately, you have a great goaltender like you do in Connor Hellebuck. But the PK has allowed one goal, and it was a 5-on-3 goal against Dallas. They've been perfect since then. Knock on wood. Do not blame me if they give up one tonight. Let's hear the thoughts on the penalty kill so far this year.
Stepping forward again on the penalty kill. What stood out to you about the way you guys have been on that so far this year?
It's the big thing for me is trying to be one step ahead of the power play, anticipating where the next play is going to be. The other areas for me, we've been stingy on the entries, and then we've done a better job of shared clears, and when we do have the opportunity of getting those pucks down the ice, we've done a good job to kind of allow us to get a change and get fresh legs out there.
Adam Lowry and Dylan Samberg may be your two best penalty killers. What does it say to not have them in the lineup? What does it say about your depth and your coaching staff?
Well, that was part of what we brought, some of the new people that we brought in. Koepke, great skater, has done that before. Tanner Pearson's done that before. Nyquist has. I mean, it's, even JT has, killed penalties. So we've got more people that have experience at it. We're kind of elevating a role for both Parker and Bear. I mean, Bear's done, Morgan's done a lot of killing, but at the end of the day, he's kind of going out first, which he's never had really an opportunity to do. So I think they're just them getting the responsibility and recognizing it. Dean's done a really good job of, instilling sort of the detail part of it and sticking with it. I love how aggressive we are as four, not just one or two, but all four. When one moves, they all move, and I just think that's really helped, and we have some quickness there to do that.
All right, so there you have it. PK on fire, and a big reason on the top of the power play. So both special teams units are off to great starts, and I think it's 95% or something like that. The PK
95.5% actually.
I did look at it earlier.
Nicely done.
Yeah, 24 divided by 25.
Yeah. So heading into this game against Calgary, and Calgary leads the league early on in this season in majors, so they haven't been afraid to get physical at times. So something to keep an eye on as well tonight. Let's quickly, as we start to wind things down here, let's quickly switch over to Calgary for a second.
Yeah.
The Flames, obviously, with the struggles mentioned, and Mitch talked about how the start he thinks for Winnipeg is going to be important because of the struggles that Calgary has had for it. Going into this, in one of the quotes, or into this season, one of the quotes that I saw from Dustin Wolf, their netminder, was, you look at our first 10 games and it's kind of make or break. Well, they're 1-5 to start. They've played 5 games in 8 days to start. 7 of their 10 first games are against playoff teams from last season. So certainly a very challenging schedule for them. But as I mentioned off the top, they have struggled to find the back of the net. Other than that game against Edmonton, everything has been 2 goals, 1 goals for them, but they've been giving up a ton. And so certainly the challenge is on right now in Calgary.
Yeah, let's take a look at their lines. Katie can just throw that up for Ryan Husker, the head coach of the Calgary Flames, following the game against Vegas the other night. He said the Huberdeau, Kadri, Farabee line has been one of their best consistently throughout the year. Coleman, Backlund, Coronado, Honzek is a former first-round pick. Morgan Frost, Zary, Ball and Anderson, their number 1 defense pair. But Dustin Wolf is the goals. They've been giving up a lot, but he's such a great goaltender. The Jets will have to make sure they get in front of him and get on him early, because if he gets in a roll, he could steal a game for the Flames. But to what they're saying, Calgary had a good close to last year. There was high hopes heading into this year. In the Pacific Division, certainly in the Western Conference, you can't afford to fall that behind. No. So you can understand what Mitch was saying a little bit earlier in the show. So a lot of urgency in the Flames dressing room right now, and you can understand why with the start they've had.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight's game, as we mentioned, the one-off for the Jets in terms of the road. Then they return home, and you want a busy weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness. 3 games in 4 days here on home ice, which you don't often hear about.
Yeah.
Obviously, the NHL schedule makers did not discuss things with you and I, but
what about the children, Sarah? What are we supposed to do?
So it starts with Seattle. Calgary is in town. So 2 times in 1 week they will see each other, is in town on Friday. And then Sunday it is Utah Mammoth that are going to be in town.
I've never seen, well, I'm trying to think of COVID, but I've never seen 3 games in 4 nights at home.
Yeah.
I've seen them play 3 games in 4 nights just because of the road, but not 3 games in 4. So very busy.
So, yeah, it'll be very busy. Obviously, and it's very busy around right now anyways, with Bombers wrapping up their regular season schedule. So Winnipeg sports fans, a lot to cheer about, a lot to keep yourselves busy this weekend as well.
So reminder, watch the Blue Jays game to start.
And then you switch over, but also in order to be able to stay up on all things Jets, of course, you can check out our social media channels. We'll update things. You will have there'll be 3 things tonight at the end of the game.
Most importantly, though, another insight into the mystery that is Vladislav Namestnikov. A man has few words, but has a sense of humor.
He sure does.
And is a prankster. Explain.
With his now line mate.
Explain.
Latest edition of Home Ice is now out.
It was Halloween, and I just decided to get a bunch of like scary stickers and like sparkly things and just hang them up in his door. And then the next day I come home and my door is fully like wallpapered with Halloween stuff. And then like as months go by, we kind of did it for each holiday, and it was kind of just fun.
Yeah, it'd be funny just coming back from a game and then there'd be something new.
And there's a build on it. There'd be like a statue, like a weird statue, and then like a big Santa Claus sitting like. the big one was the blow up pig. It would take up legit the whole hallway, and we'd blow it up each time.
Inflatable thing?
Yeah. And then we got in trouble for it because it was a fire hazard.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So they're right beside each other?
Yeah.
They're roommate, or not so much roommates.
No, they have condos beside each other. So I love when they're talking about how you could hear the other person leave.
Yeah.
And Vladdy going, like, so you go and look out. Go look out the.
So this is all the time?
Apparently these two, because you hear about some of the pranksters on the team, and to be honest, I didn't necessarily think those two were going to consider themselves pranksters, but
didn't your mom always tell you to be scared of the quiet kids? That was one of my mom's favorites, just be aware of the quiet kids all the time.
Well, apparently so, but it is, what, those two are good friends, as are so many. Once again, an example of how tight-knit this dressing room is right now, how guys get along and everything. So go check it out, Winnipeg Jets YouTube channel. I think it might be on Facebook as well, but the YouTube channel is a spot to go. It's pretty entertaining listening to those two.
Well, let's see if the Flames or Jets can extend their win streak here tonight.
Yes.
Facing the Flames.
Maybe Namestnikov will have another goal.
Yeah. What were the lines before we go? One more time. Did you do in your little report there?
Oh, dear.
Oh, no.
Now
sorry
I've
about
got
that.
them. Hold on. Hold on. I've got it. Top line remains the same. You have Nino Niederreiter, Jonathan Taves, Gus Nyquist as your second line.
Okay.
According to line rushes, your third line, Alex Iafallo, Vlad Namestnikov. Look at those two, huh?
Yeah.
Keeping them together. Brad Lambert, it looks based on line rushes. We'll have to see, check out Winnipeg Jets website to be able to find out after their availability what Scott Arniel says. But Brad Lambert did take line rushes on that third line. And then Cole Koepke, Morgan Barron, and Tanner Pearson, it looks to be, will be your fourth line. Deep pairings remaining the same.
Wow. Goaltender, do we know?
Did not see.
Okay, on it.
I presume Connor Hellebuck, but
you never know.
But you never know. It is an excellent point. Great to see so many of you in the chat. Love to be able to always have you guys join us in on the conversation each and every game day. Don't forget, 12:30, Connor Hellebuck.
Connor Hellebuck is your starting goaltender.
There you go.
Just like
against Dustin Wolf. tonight. Don't forget, 12:30, join us each and every Winnipeg Jets game day here on Check-In as we get you ready for it. Looking forward to this upcoming weekend. It will be a busy one, but make sure to enjoy the game tonight. Go Blue Jays as well.
Yep.
And we will see you on Thursday when the Seattle Kraken come to
Oh my
town.
gosh, there's too many games. Kraken, Flames, Utah. Got it. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys on Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great week. Thanks so much for checking in.